Slice up serious. All right, so you mean disclaimer or full disclosure? However, I'm still figuring out words. Um, it seems like today's time, all of the entertainment is coming from boys versus girls, men versus women. You know what I'm saying? The battle of the sexes. Right. So that part. So yeah, we gonna you mean have some discussions. And also always remember that I only know one thing. I know nothing else. I only know one thing. But that one thing that I do know is the thing that knows everything. So that being said, if you ask the right questions, I will get the right answers. When I ask the right questions, I get the right answers. When questions are asked, answers are given. Me knowing nothing but the one thing that knows everything. Let's get right into the video. Yeah, so this is the video we gonna watch right here.
But ideally,
Economically, so
Do you think men and women are equal?
currently, no, men and women are not equal.
but ideally,
Economically, socially, but yes, they ought to be equal. Yeah, of course.
okay.
You don't think that they're the same economically and socially?
No, there's certainly differences in American society and globally in which men are systemically advantaged over women.
Can you explain those?
Like what rights? What rights do we have in the West that women don't have?
And that segues to my second question. What rights and privileges do men have that women don't?
Well, there are some issues that pertain specifically to women, like reproductive rights,
Okay.
that don't apply to men. But even those specific issues are like rights. Women are not enfranchised with those rights like they should be. Like women should have access to comprehensive sex education, but most women are going to require additional rights that they need to be endowed with that don't apply to men, like access to abortions, contraception, etc.
But that's,
Interesting.
you're not really answering the question, though. The question is, what rights do men have that women don't have? I also can't kill a baby. We both can't.
You're presupposing that abortion is murder, right?
Yeah,
You believe abortion's murder?
100%.
You believe a fetus is the same as like a
I don't know what just
human
happened.
baby?
It's a life, yeah.
Yeah,
So
if it
we
has a
both
heartbeat.
cannot kill babies. We're
Might
equal.
happen again though.
I mean, I
Which I
don't.
Well, actually, she
believe
can
commit
still kill
murder,
babies
but
in
you
certain
just
states.
commit
Yeah.
murder. Oh, you can
Yeah.
commit murder though.
In certain states
Yes, about 50% of the United States still allows for abortion.
for abortion, are you not pro-choice?
You know, surprisingly, I actually am pro-choice.
Oh, I gotta say this. Watch to the end of the video or your attention span is trash.
But for women to say that they don't have the same rights and privileges as men is very interesting. And when it comes to reproduction, you guys unilaterally have all the rights. Men have zero reproductive rights.
Though.
Yeah, I understand that. But what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to reproductive rights, men have zero reproductive rights, whereas women have all the reproductive power.
They do.
What are
They
some
should put a
reproductive
condom on.
rights
You
that you
nutting
believe like
people.
men should have
That's
that
their
they don't
choice.
currently
Well,
have?
here's the thing.
On.
Men, for example, if you have a child with a man, the man has zero right to anything with that baby. If you want to keep
It's
the
like
baby
either-
or if you
either
want to
or,
abort the
yeah.
baby, you have 100% control over that. That man has no control. So if you decide I'm going to have the baby and he's got to pay child support, well, that's on him. If you decide I don't want to have the baby and he wants the baby, he wants the child, he doesn't have any say in it.
So you're talking about like custodial rights.
He doesn't have rights, period. Men have zero reproductive rights in the United States or any first world Western country for that matter.
I mean, some men
You have the
opt
right
to
to wear a condom.
have their name put on the birth certificate. That's not true.
You have the right to wear a
Parental
condom.
rights.
That's
But
not
they don't have
productive rights.
that's not reproductive rights.
Well, it's because it's not your reproductive system.
Choose
You have
to.
the right to
Like,
wear
if
a
it
A
was-
girl
Well,
could just
if it
forge
was
the
your
name
body,
on a
then
birth
you choose.
certificate
Right,
and
that's the
That's not-
he's tied
that's the
to
other
it.
thing is that like
It's my nut.
it takes two. Assuming that
it
it's
takes two though.
assuming it's a
Exactly.
consensual interaction, take two to tangle,
It almost always is.
right? So men know what they're getting into when they have
You
sex,
could pull
consensual
out.
sex with a woman,
Yeah, but
and women know what they're getting into when they have consensual sex
You could
with a
still
man.
For sure.
do
I
that.
think sex
Or
education is
STDs.
incredibly lacking.
For
because
sure.
most pregnancies are
teaching us
accidental
sex-
pregnancies.
Okay.
But
For
like,
sure.
From there, you're saying that like men have no choice or whatever, and it's like, well, if you're choosing
Sure, you can go
consensually
first and then I'll
to engage to have sex with a woman,
Go ahead,
you
sorry.
are accepting that responsibility that you may get her pregnant.
I think the
For
point Miles
sure.
making though is that fundamentally, in a state where abortion is legal, the woman has the right to.
Time out, cause see, right questions give me the right answers. So whole time, I literally just figured out this whole debate. I got the answers already, right? Cause this is what you men, you waste men out here need to figure out. All right, so that is your reproductive right as a man to control where your sperm goes. Your reproductive right is not whether the she has the baby or not. That's her reproductive right. But your reproductive right is to create the baby or not. Simple. If you don't shoot a sperm into the egg, there will be no baby born. Problem solved. You want to have the baby, shoot it sperm off into the egg. But if you really want to have the baby and then she wants to abort the baby, then that's a whole different ball game, right? All right, so therefore, you need to dig deeper into who you're vetting to mate with, period. I mean, this is the order. I mean, whether you know it or not, God, father, mother, child. So it's like that man needs to be in order with God, and therefore he needs to relay that order that he has been ordered from God to the woman to be able to determine: do I want you to be the mother of my child? God, father, mother, child. I mean, God vetted me to be me. Now I need to vet you to see if we're going to reproduce with each other. I mean, if I don't want to reproduce with you, then you shouldn't be shooting sperms off into eggs. Boom, reproductive rate. If you do want to reproduce with that one, then by you shooting that sperm off into that egg, y'all should have already established that, yo, if we have, a fertilization happening, then we're going to keep that child. It should already be discussed. Just out here willy-nilly having sex on random williness, you know what I'm saying? Then that's, you know, the opposite of a right. That's something that gets left. You feel me? So yeah.
To
Yeah, I
exercise
done
that
figured it
option,
all
man
out.
does not have that right. That's where the disparity occurs.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that
So-
kind of
You moving
Right.
around like
So
heathens.
I just think this line of questioning is kind of weird because reproductive rights is about your reproductive system.
Mm.
So if it's a woman's body that's going through the whole process of pregnancy, then it's her reproductive right because
it
it's
takes
her
the
Re-
man,
system.
though.
reproduction is by default, by definition, actually a two-person
Yes,
tango.
Yeah,
They're-
but
they're both
reproductive
right.
rights refers to the rights of your own body.
But you
You're
contradict
right.
yourself, y'all. When
I
y'all
mean,
say that,
women
y'all
are-
as a woman, you contradict yourself. You
Women are
can't
kind
say,
of wrong.
"Oh, it's
No.
my reproductive system, so when I get pregnant, it's my choice." But then
May
say
I say
you
something?
chose to nut in me. That's a fucking contradiction.
No, that's
no,
actually
no.
wrong in
You're
a
the
sense
correct
of
thing.
I don't
allowing
think so.
men
He
to
he chose the nut in her, and she's gonna choose either to have the baby or not. But he started the creation of the baby by nutting in her or not. You see what I'm saying? So that's his reproductive right to control where your seed goes. Hers is to control how her egg, you know what I mean, develops or not. You feel me? So yeah. Even though it's like, you know what I mean, I'm definitely a pro lifer, but I still understand the choice aspect of it. Like I can respect that. It's like, yeah, that is your choice. That is your choice. It is your choice. I mean, just like he has his choice. Arson, shut up, bro. I'm talking to the folks. You see me talking to the folks? I'm saying that was his choice to bark just now. It was my choice to tell him to shut up. You feel me? Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a
I think we're
contradiction.
just talking
You can't
past each
say
other.
he has equal part because he nutted in you and got you pregnant. But now when it's down to your decision, now it's yours
We
and he has
didn't
no
say
right.
he had
any
That's
woman that
exactly a
doesn't let a man have the
contradiction.
choice in having the baby
Love
or
you,
not,
buddy.
they're wrong in
Love you,
that.
though,
But
buddy.
they're just wrong.
So
No, it's
No,
correct. It's
ladies.
correct to say. It's correct to say that obviously, because the baby is gestated inside the woman, then it's her body, and therefore it's her decision whether she goes through with that birth or not. That makes sense. But I suppose the issue really is if the man in the equation is adamantly against bringing that child into the world, he raises those concerns with the woman, and she says, "No, I'm going to go ahead with the go ahead with the birth." Then he has no right in that situation. The same way
Don't
that the
go to
woman
that
does. I mean,
door
yes, the
barking,
woman
bro.
physically births
Get
the
on the
child,
bed, freeze.
but the father is compelled to have a child that he didn't want to have because he doesn't have the same option that the woman has. I think that's the fundamental
Okay.
issue here.
Okay, that's
Or
a
when
separate
a-
issue
Mm.
than a person's own reproductive system.
Okay.
We can talk about parental rights and stuff like that, but I just want to make it clear that there's a difference between reproductive rights concerning your own system and just parental rights.
And
for
those rights
example.
mean when you have the child, now he's forced to be a father when he doesn't want to be a fucking father.
He
So
should've
no, you're
worked
going
on
back
that.
and
The
forth.
right to
Can I
work
speak
on
for a
it.
second? One
Facts.
mic at a time. I'm sorry.
We're all talking.
If you choose to have a child after you spoke to the nigga and he said no, I don't want to have a child. Now you bitches go for child support and all the parental custody shit that comes later. It starts with the reproductive rights. So that's exactly what we're talking about. You guys keep going back and forth. No, once you decide, because we get the decision to have the baby, now he's forced to be a father
But
when
that's
he didn't
one
want
side.
to. That
I knew it was gonna
Yeah,
happen
okay,
again.
yeah.
I had a
She
feeling.
already say
he
no.
should have pulled out.
Hold up. It's a glitch. It's a glitch in the system. Hold up, we back.
Say something,
And you
please.
say that
Like,
after, but y'all
it
bitches
doesn't
be like,
matter.
"Oh,
It
come
doesn't
on,
matter.
me too." No, we
Everyone's
don't.
talking
Speak
at the
for
same
yourself.
time.
That's what you say.
So
Can I
Zena
speak?
finished her point. You can
Like
go
what?
ahead, and then who else had
But
something?
what
Zena
she's
had
saying,
something.
you're right.
Hold
and
on,
like,
hold on.
oh.
Okay, you had something. You had something. Who else had something? I want to make sure everyone can
I
get a
had
chance.
something.
That's it.
Erin.
Who else did? You
I
did?
did.
Okay. All right. So we'll go here, and then there, and then back.
Well,
Go
what I
ahead.
was gonna say is like she's right in a way. So like, if a man did not want to be a part of that baby's life, he should be able right in the beginning sign like, oh, if you're gonna keep this baby and I don't want nothing to do with it,
Yeah.
sign something where
That's
she's
for my
claiming
thumbnail.
that she's gonna take full responsibility and he doesn't have to,
Yep.
pay child support.
They
Yeah.
call those
Because
paper
just like a
abortions,
woman,
I think.
sometimes there's men that want to keep the baby,
Yeah.
and the bitch be like, nah, I
Yeah.
don't want this shit,
Yeah.
and abort it.
That's what I
So
was
it
gonna
should be
say.
fair. Where if he don't want nothing to do with the baby, he could sign right away. So if she decides to keep it, well, bitch, that's on
Okay.
you.
So you're saying what should be okay? How
But
about
he
you?
should already
Yeah, I was
control
gonna
where
say
his
that
seed
too. Like,
went.
if a
That's his
man wanted his
productive
child, but the woman's
reproductive
like, no,
right.
this is my body. and I gotta
Yeah,
do
I
this to
get it,
matter.
bro.
So you guys were talking about the
I
ideal.
get it,
Okay.
bro.
What about you?
Like based on like what you're saying like if they decide to keep the baby, but they're talking about like you're talking about taking abortion away, like you're pro-choice. So if
No, we
we're
didn't say that.
abortion, like pro-choice is no
So low
abortion.
key, all right. Legally, I agree with the pro-choice. Morally, I agree with pro-life. Like I understand where the choice thing could come in, but morally, it's like y'all all need to get in order and stop moving around like rascals. You mean you
No,
heathens?
pro-life. Pro-life.
No, we didn't say nothing about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, if you're
But I'm saying like
anti-choice,
when
you're against
if
abortion.
they doing that or whatever, like it's harder.
Pagans.
I say like if we're taking abortion away, I'm bringing this topic in.
We didn't say take
We
abortion
didn't say
away.
I
take
said
a-
I'm taking.
We
I'm
said
bringing this topic
reproductive
in.
rights, meaning both
Your
people should be
reproductive rights
involved.
meaning taking.
That's not what that
reproductive
No,
means.
we're saying if a
That
man
means
wants
that
a
they
baby,
should both have
Let's go
say.
ahead.
Once you understand, I'll move it to her, and then
I
just
said I was bringing a topic
formulate your
in.
thoughts, and then come back.
Okay.
Somebody else had something over here. Go
I
ahead.
did.
Yeah.
So
You
I
brought
feel
this up.
like what Pixie said, a lot
Okay.
of confliction is going
her
on
name is
between
Pixie?
reproductive rights.
Oh, somebody hit the button. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, bro, check it. We're not even doing all that right now. I'm about to go ahead to tend to this situation. So, you know what I mean? That was what it was. Is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Gonna be what it's gonna be. But yeah, cause whole time I don't even need to hear what the rest of they saying. I figured it out. This was a little men versus women debate, but I done figured it out. Ask me a question, I give you an answer. I only know one thing, and that one thing knows everything. So right there, you ask a question, I get an answer. You ask a question, I get an answer. I ask a question, I get an answer. Questions asked, answers are given. You feel me? Yeah, they was trying to figure out reproductive rights. Boom, here we go. Say it again for the one time, for the two time. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Men, your reproductive right is in your sperm. Place it where it needs to be. Place it where it should go, where you want it to go. Where you want it to thrive and grow. You feel me? That's your reproductive right. If you don't want it out there, don't put it out there. If you don't want it in there, don't put it in there. Cause it's in you to do what you mean. you're gonna do what you should do, what you're supposed to do with it. So, yeah, I mean, tap in what you should be doing with it. That's your reproductive right. And now to the ladies. You know what I'm saying? It's your reproductive right to either let it grow or not let it grow. But also, you too should be vetting what you letting come in you, literally and metaphorically, you know what I mean? To start sparking life in you. That's your reproductive right. Granted, once it gets in you and you mean and it starts to develop, and it's like there's some morals, but legally, I mean, it's up to you. It should be up to you whether it's gonna go forth or not, because it is your body, your choice. I get that, but morally, that's a whole nother thing. Just like for him, his sperm, his body, his choice. You can't make that man shoot nothing into you. He shouldn't be able to make you, you know what I mean, shoot nothing out. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But I mean, there's levels to this. But reproductive rights right there. His is in his sperm, yours is in your eggs. Yours is yours, his is his. But together we be making us. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, alright, so boom, that's reproductive rights in a nutshell. So if you see it how I see it, then that's how we see it. So that's how I see it. And right now, I see me out. I don't have to tend to this situation.